What is up? What is up? What is up, y'all? We're on day 48. Just gotta make sure the camera was a little bit level there. I mean, 49, sorry, day 49. I keep saying 48 today. I don't know why. We're on day 49, almost on day 50, which is crazy because we're about to be like, I think we're like 11 days. Damn, I can never fix my hat looking at this camera. It's just backwards, so I don't know where to go. I don't know what side, which hand is this. Okay, there we go. Oh my god. But we're in day 49 and we're 11 days from day 60, meaning we're 11 days from learning IT support for about 2 months now. That is crazy. And that means I think we're about 9 months, somewhat like that, into learning in general and trying to learn, web dev and then getting into IT support. Kind of 9 months of being truly consistent on this YouTube channel. Might be a little bit of 10, but I know I had a month where I was kind of like doing live stream replays or whatever the hell. I was going through that little phase of trying to see like how that content strategy could work, and it worked, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. I feel like I just wanted to give myself a break from live streams at that time because I had accomplished learning web dev, so I'm like, let me give myself that little break there. But no, yeah. Well, what is up, Snake? What is up? Have you thought about doing the content, or have you started doing the content? Is what I'm wondering that you said you wanted to do. I think that would be super lit. I really like when you do it, man. I really want to watch it. I think that would just be so cool to see somebody else making content, even if it's for not even for IT support. Like, I don't care, bro. I'm watching. Like, I would love it. So I got my little soda here. We're about to get into some studying. I need to make sure I have my charger with me. Yes, which is in here, which is perfect. I feel a little bit hot, but it's whatever. We'll get into it. And yes, my goodness, my boys. I took the second quiz in Exam Compass for the CompTIA A plus, and I also passed that one as well. I think I got a 76 or something like that. I should have honestly took a screenshot of it. So that's not bad because this whole time, and they had a couple of networking questions, but what I've kind of learned with the CompTIA A plus in general is that a lot of it, my goodness, I keep burping. What the hell? I don't know what that's going on. But that a lot of it is literally kind of like what would make sense, if that makes sense. But I also, something that I've been learning for my like study routine, I know you already know I've been doing flashcards, but another thing that I think is really important is writing down the obviously the answer and what the question is, but then also going to what the wrong answers are and writing down what they are itself and how they probably would ask that question if they were asking for the wrong answers, if that makes sense. So let's say there's like four things, the right answer in this question is the third one, but now make up the questions that they probably would do for the first, second, and last, and then kind of take the note of that in that way, because for the CompTIA A plus, they're going to probably word it a lot more differently. So I'm like, I think I got this down pat, brother. Like, I think I got this down pat. Obviously, not like I'm about to pass this CompTIA A plus soon. I still have a lot to learn, but I can't wait. He says, so I did the setup and the streaming, and I did 2 test streams, but they are like unlisted. I'm kind of confused on 2 to 3 things. My voice sounds weird, so I'm confused. Oh, okay, I was gonna say, yeah, I wouldn't really know. I remember back when I was starting my thing. I think my first live stream, my mic was going crazy. Like, it just had like a bunch of ringing, like a lot of ringing noises. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I had to do this thing. I forgot what it was, but I think I had to change the mic's output to, instead of it saying input and output, I think I just kept it as input. I forgot. I don't know. It was weird. But I had to change a couple of things. So yeah, you probably just have to play around with your mic on whatever software you're using. Um, I currently use Streamlabs desktop. You don't have to pay for anything. I know OBS Studio was also pretty good. I remember using that one. I do actually use OBS Studio for my second camera, but then I just do virtual camera. I personally like to stream off of Streamlabs better anyway. I have to get a better camera though. Like I know the camera quality isn't too bad, and it honestly could be because I do blur the background. Because I'm sure if I unblurred it, probably wouldn't look like that, but I don't know. Oh, never mind. I thought bruh, it said resolution, and I thought I had like the lowest resolution. I'm like, this is why. This is why. I could do the highest frame rate. Sorry, I started messing with my camera. It looks the same, honestly. Maybe I already had it on there. Kind of wanted to see. I guess that's it for me. All right, sorry, y'all. I'm just playing around with my camera. I don't know why I started doing that. So let's finally get into this. Oh, also too, by the way, I wanted to talk a little bit about some hands-on stuff that I got going on. Not like physically well, actually, I don't know why I was thinking like hardware, but anyway, ignore what I just said. So I've been doing a little bit of hands-on stuff behind the scenes, which it was still kind of granting the permissions on files. I was looking at Task Manager and looking a little bit more deeper into what that is, disk management as well. And the reason why I'm looking a lot into those is for one, because I know I'm going to have to, and I'm trying to also look at it from the perspective of like an IT support specialist. How would I, as an IT support specialist, am I supposed to look at these certain applications and understand what's going on? But then number two, I also plan on eventually when I do a lot more of like the hands-on stuff to kind of be able to teach it as well on this channel. Like pretty like soon. Like that one should be more sooner than the actual whole course thing that I plan on doing. But I think it's gonna be pretty like cool, and I can't wait to end up getting into that. And then I think there's one more thing that I wanted to do. Damn, what was it called? Because I wanted to do the task manager, stuff like that, look into it, kind of see what's going on, make a video about teaching it. Not just task manager, but same thing with like granting the file permissions. But man, there was something else. I don't remember. I have a lot of content ideas that after I get a little bit of hands-on, I do want to make oh, and then the ticketing system. My goodness. Sorry about that. I'm still a little bit sick. But I seen this girl who was doing a ticketing system for Spikesworks. And so I wanted to kind of watch her tutorial because for one, I really kind of don't. I know how to use Spiceworks, which is a online ticketing system that's free. It might be similar and might not be, I'm not sure, to a regular ticketing system, but I'm learning what she is saying. And then what I'm probably going to do from there is after I learn it and I start doing stuff in there, then boom, that's what I'm going to decide to make my own video that kind of teaches that ticketing system. Because I think the best thing you could do as an IT personnel, which is why I'm also doing this with websites. So I got a website video coming out later tonight as well, where it's basically me explaining a concept. Issa gotta go. We'll be back after like 10-15 minutes. All right, see you later, Snake. So I can try one thing when I'm playing games. I go live so I get used to doing the live stream and then start working. Oh, okay. All right, I'll see you later, Snake. But what the hell was I just saying? Frick. I was just saying something. I don't know. It's okay. Oh, that I like to basically explain stuff that I'm just learning to like in a simpler way. So I like to do it with the websites, and I like to do it with just the videos I'm probably going to be posting. You said, how can I start web development? The best way to start web development, in all honesty, I think for me, was when I ended up using Free Code Camp personally myself. And through Free Code Camp, are my earphones connected to this laptop? I hope not. Okay, good. Let me make sure that, yeah, it's not. Okay. I personally use Free Code Camp. I think Free Code Camp was great when it came to the web development side of stuff. But when it came to JavaScript, I used the Odin project, and then I ended up jumping back to Free Code Camp. But always remember that after you make a project on Free Code Camp, try to make it yourself. And until you can make that project by yourself without needing help, then move on to the next project is how I did it. And then eventually, once you start to learn it, you kind of just start running through some things. So that's probably the best way for me to explain that. All right, so what I'm going to do is connect my phone to this phone. I need to connect my camera to this one so that we can end up getting into the study session. We are currently listening to Professor Messer's course on installing the operating system. And after I take a lot of these notes, I plan on potentially using one of those methods on my laptop. Not this laptop, but on another laptop just to kind of test it. Because I heard that you can like really screw up your laptop to the point where you can't turn it on. So a part of me is thinking to not do it on this damn laptop because I don't play like that. I did not play like that, but we'll see. So let me go Professor Messer 1202. We're getting there. He said, all right, thank you. I low-key hate watching 6-hour videos. Well, Free Code Camp is actually a website. My bad. I should have explained that. Unless you're talking about Professor Messer's. But Free Code Camp is a website where they actually make you like build. Like I could show you right now. I hope you're still here because I realized I didn't explain that well. But it's not really watching videos, so you kind of just go in here. Let's get to it. Get started. It's free. And I believe they just made a new responsive web design course, which is crazy because I just got my certification, but now it's considered like an old certification. So it's corny, but I did about 42 here. And damn, they ended up adding a lot more stuff. They made it a lot more different. Probably a little bit more difficult is what the goal was. See, I did 134 out of 139 because they started playing with me, but it's okay. Let's go here. So we'll go to the basics. We'll build this curriculum. And so you'll start coding and they're basically going to guide you to making it. So they're going to say, find the first line. It's the code. Wait, what? Find the first line. When you were done, click. What the fuck are they saying? Says you should have the text welcome. I don't know if they just want me to legitimately write it like this or put it in an H1, but they're basically going to guide you a little bit into what to do. So yes, now they told me to write that. You go to the next, and then they're going to teach you about header 1. So then you do header 1. They're going to teach you about closing tags. So it's not really videos. It's kind of just typing the code, and then the things start to work, which is super fun. I actually just got hella nostalgia doing that. I'm not even gonna lie. Hella nostalgia. I kind of want to go back. Oh, I forgot I didn't start my virtual camera. Oops. Alright, so here we go. Now, did I finish the installing the operating system video? Because I was taking a bunch of notes off camera and doing a lot of quizzes off camera that I was also passing. So I was like, hey, that's what's up. That is what's up. So let's go and see. Oh, I forgot. I always forget that I got to change this to day 49. And then we can basically hop right into this. I cannot wait to get this CompTIA A+, man. Y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea. Okay, so let's see. I think the last thing I was taking a note on was the disk partitioning. I don't know exactly how far I've gotten taking a note on the disk partitioning. I think we got all the way. Oh, we did a lot actually. Did we even get to the next topic? Disk partitioning, be careful. I didn't write be careful. I wrote, oh yeah, okay, so I wrote that. So I gotta go back a little bit. Should have had this already prepared, but y'all know me. Sometimes I just be here. I just be here. And he also has like really good diagrams too. That also helped me, which is a part of why I kind of want to buy exactly what he's talking about here. But I guess we'll have to see just in case. I want to see if y'all end up commenting. Okay, perfect. So next we got 1423, this installation screen. I gotta see before he mentions to be careful because that was not there. And okay, so here we go. I got him in my ear. So y'all aren't gonna hear him. So installing operating system. We're gonna do the guide. What is this called? The guide partition? Partition. Kind of see how that goes. And so y'all can have at least a little bit of a visual. You said, all right, one more thing. How do I start learning IT? Because I never really studied any IT. I honestly am kind of just doing what I'm doing. I really don't know. Because I'm currently learning IT too, and I hope I'm doing what's right. So I wouldn't really be able to give like a roadmap or like how to yet, because I don't even know if I'm doing what's right. I'm kind of just learning what is on the CompTIA A plus, which is a certification that some people defer on whether you need it or not. So I don't feel like I'm qualified to say where to actually start, because I'm doing the same thing and I could potentially be throwing myself for a loop right now. So what am I doing? So to install OS on a GUD part or GUID partition. So I don't know, because I just took my last note was that you can have 128. Okay, so here I am. Let's get to these notes. All right. Oh, so here we go. You know what's so crazy is I was just taking a quiz on this, and or this particular thing that I'm writing right now, the GUID partition, whatever the hell. And basically, they were asking me which one would you download if it requires a UFI slash BIOS like compatibility, right? To be able to do the operating system or install the operating system. And for a while, I had no idea. I was like, wait a second, I'm confused. And I think I may have even picked the wrong question, the wrong answer. And it's crazy because right now I'm taking that note. Literally right now. So UFI BIOS. So basically, what I'm taking a note of is that the GUID partition table that can have up to 128 partitions is BIOS compatible, and you need or requires a UFI BIOS or BIOS compatibility mode is what I meant. That's what it requires. So I got to make sure that I remember that, because for some reason when we mentioned this the first time, it mentioned that it's compatible with BIOS and UFI, but it didn't say that it requires one. So when I kept trying to find the answer, I'm like, the only thing that's kind of mentioning the BIOS is this one. So it was kind of crazy. You said, dang. No, yes. I wish they had like a good little website for IT support, but I'm literally like, the only thing I looked up and that I'm going off of, I heard that Google IT support certification is good, but they currently charge over $50 a month to take it, or to continue to go for that certification. And then on top of that, there's like another thing where I heard Professor Messer is good too, but it's not necessarily teaching about like an IT job. It's just teaching about the CompTIA or any certifications that you plan on going for. So like I would probably say, I'm going for the CompTIA A plus, so you could probably start there, but you would need to know the basics of a computer first. So that's why there's just like a lot of, you would have to honestly do your own self-study there. That's why I currently want to make a course one day, because I feel like I had the same exact thing where I don't really know, I didn't know where to start, and I still kind of don't know if I'm doing anything right. I'm just hoping that I am. I'm just hoping that I am, and I'm hoping that I'm understanding everything. I'm hoping that, because there's a lot of people who think getting the CompTIA A plus is pointless. I currently don't really have a thought on it. I feel like getting certifications never really means that you are just gonna land the job. I think getting certifications just means you're doing it for, that achievement type of thing. And it could potentially like help maybe. But other than that, I'm just like, yeah, no. Oops, what the hell am I writing? I meant to put to the newer. I started rewriting something. To the newer UFI. Because a lot of the stuff too, like especially in the beginning, like I feel like the only thing I could probably recommend is like my beginning videos, but I don't really know. Cause like a lot of the stuff I was doing was I started with the Google IT support, the free section, which was just a history lesson, which I personally don't think you need to do. I thought I was able to do the whole thing. And then after that, it was like I think from there I just started to look stuff up. Oh, and then, oh yeah, also too, I forgot. I asked ChatGPT to help me come up with a roadmap for the basics of computing. And we kind of came up with some stuff that helped me understand the basics of hardware. And then after that, now I'm here doing software. So I didn't get too far, which is why I just don't know. But hopefully, I'm doing the right thing. Hey, I'm praying. So it disables the. So right now, I just took a note saying, oh my goodness. The GUID partition table supports up to 128 partitions. It requires the UV BIOS. It is BIOS compatibility mode disables the UV secure boot. Sorry. And then I took a couple of extra notes of what he was saying, which says that he requires to have a UV BIOS or work in a BIOS compatibility mode, which was a common mode when we were transitioning from our older style BIOS to the newer UV BIOS. So if you enable the BIOS compatibility mode, it ends up disabling the ability to secure boot. So basically everything that I already just previously wrote, he's just saying it in a different way, but in a little bit more detail. So let me continue to keep going. It says it disables the ability to secure boot, which means, wow. So that means, which means many of our newer operating systems. I thought it was going to be the older. So because it disables a secure boot, that means many of the newer operating systems will not be compatible, or I guess will not work in a BIOS compatibility mode. So I'm assuming that means you're probably not going to want to update the operating system using this particular mode, which is the disk partitioning. I'm assuming. I think that I could be wrong about that, which means that where is it? That many of your newer oops, my fault. Operating systems will not work in a BIOS compatibility mode. Perfection. On to the next. Let's continue to go down here just so y'all can see a little bit more on the screen. Ooh, so this gets even more scarier. So now we got to make sure we make this very clear because there's a be careful section here. Because with the newer operating systems not being able to do the secure boot, that literally means that there is serious potential for data loss, and it's not, and this is not an everyday occurrence. So I guess this is like a thing you got to be careful for. So I'm gonna go take a note on that. You said, is the CompTIA free? No, you do have to pay for every single CompTIA, because I think they have like the CompTIA Network Plus, the CompTIA what is it called? Security Plus. They have the CCNA. Well, that's not even CompTIA, but that's a different certification. Any certification in IT you have to pay for. I think it's one of the best things I could say. I think the ones that are free for IT doesn't really matter. But it's kind of the same way, like I said, with the other certifications, because it's like, yes, it may help you land a position depending on your employer, but it's not necessarily needed in the sense of like you need to have this certification to get a job. Um, Maybe, but I know that when you normally get like your Security Plus and or Network Plus, I know those ones can stand strong when you're trying to land into like specific fields, like networking fields, security fields. But it's not, at the same time, it's not needed. Like if you could show the skill through your lab work, through experience, through other things like that, you should also be fine. I currently wouldn't mind paying for it. I think I added everything all up to the specific certifications I wanted to get, CompTIA and outside of CompTIA. And I think I added up to like around 3,000, which I'm okay with. Well, not even actually. Now I'm thinking about it, it's probably 4,000, because I would want to repay. I would want to pay for the retake, because if you don't pay for the retake and you end up failing, then you're gonna have to pay full price again, which is not it. But specifically, the CompTIA A plus is 2 quizzes, so it's core 1, core 2. You need to pass both to get the A plus, but it doesn't matter which one you take first. So if you feel more comfortable with core 2, you can take core 2 first, pass it, but you still need to pass core 1, and vice versa. And I think it's $250 per test. And if you want to pay for the retake, I think it's $316 per test. So it's saying, oh wait, I forgot, I gotta go back. So it says this process. Wait, where was that? To secure boot, meaning. So we're doing any type of, let me start up here. Okay, so now we're gonna start here. So this process. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, that's what it was saying. Because I was saying how it could easily delete your data, but now he's getting a little bit more descriptive of what would delete the data. So creating a partition or removing a partition can easily delete your data. Now, I'm wondering, is this in particular with all the partitions, or is this specifically about disk partitioning? I think this is specifically about disk partitioning, because I feel like they would have mentioned this before if it had anything to do with the MBR, or if it had anything to do with the other one that we took a note of, which I think was the GUID or GPT partition. Hopefully, I mean, who knows? Well, I guess we'll have to see a little bit later. That probably should be a question I asked for a different time. Or removing a partition can easily delete data. Perfect. So you have to know exactly what partition you would like to remove and what is on the particular partition. So, okay, so they're saying to basically don't just sit there and start deleting stuff. Like, make sure you check, because you can screw yourself. So you have to know what you're deleting, what you would like to remove, what you're deleting in that particular partition. So saying, so if you're doing any type of drive administration on your local computer, make sure you're very careful not to repartition or change your existing partitions. Okay, so let me make sure I take a note of that one. So any type, but also too, I feel like with IT work is honestly, I think it's more easier doing the actual job. I think the harder part is just getting the certifications, because now you actually need to know kind of what certain things are, how they may ask it, and if you can answer it, if you can remember certain things, or you just actually know these things. So now that you know it, you kind of don't need to use your memory, you just know the answer. But I think that's kind of the hardest part, is really just taking the quiz. The actual job within itself is way more easier, I feel like, because I personally feel like I have enough knowledge to land a job. The only reason why I'm not really currently working at a IT support job is just because I'm very picky about my schedule, because I do work already in that job that I already work. Obviously, you know, it pays the bills, it takes care of my living. So I'm not going to sit here and leave this job for that job. It just wouldn't make sense. This job is currently more stable compared to a help desk or IT support position. Obviously, when I get deeper into the field, then maybe transitioning would be a lot more easier for me. But as of right now, I need something that works for me. And I currently haven't been able to find anything as of yet. But hopefully my schedule could be a little bit more open in the next couple of months, so that I could pretty much land an actual position to get some experience at the very least. But I am doing freelance work for like family and for friends that I'm not documenting now, because and that it shouldn't be, that's not going to be something that I do document until way later, because with this channel, my goal is to ultimately have different chapters on this channel. So whenever I get to the freelance chapter or the monetization chapter of this channel, that's probably when I would want to show that type of stuff. As of right now, it's simply just for doing it now. or doing it for myself. On your local computer, make sure you're very careful not to read partition. So we already took a note on that one. So basically, the point is that if you're doing this disk partitioning, be freaking careful because you can delete some crazy stuff, which I'm surprised Google doesn't end up warning me of, but okay. I guess that's fine. Oh, because I did GUID partitioning. So let me do disk partition. Actually, let me look up that question that I had. I'm just wondering. Let's see if they mention it themselves. Yeah, they don't. So if I delete a partition in any way of installing an OS, can it be data loss? I know I said this weird. Yes, deleting a partition during an install will cause permanent data loss. So I guess maybe then this isn't just about disk partitioning. But I don't understand why he would why he would write this in disk partition, unless disk partitioning just means that in general. What is disk partitioning? Maybe that should be the real question. Maybe that's just in general, like where. Oh, okay, yes, pretty much. So it's the process of dividing a single physical hard drive into multiple logical seconds. So this is just partitioning in general. So they are talking about in general. Okay, so it threw me off when it said disk partitioning. I thought disk partitioning was literally a concept. You said, what do you work for? I just work at a regular warehouse. It's a pretty good stable job though. It's just not something that I feel like, well, I wouldn't mind working there. I just feel like I'm really passionate about tech and I would love to deal with technology in my daily life or for my daily job. But I wouldn't mind if I had to stay at this current job because it's not a bad paying job at all. It pays the bills, of course. Pays the apartment, pays the car. So it's like, it's not bad. Oh, almost dropped something. Repartition or data loss. So this is the installation screen. So he ends up showing me an installation screen. I don't know if I should just look at it, right? I don't think I can draw that. Yeah, I think I'll just look at it. You could partition an area. I guess the only thing that I could do is I could probably write the installation screen is where, you know what I mean? Like, is where, well, I keep forgetting y'all can't hear him. So I'm like, I'm acting like y'all can hear what he's saying. So I'll put the installation screen is where you can partition the area for Windows to be installed. Okay. Perfect. That was actually really good. Is where you can partition an area for Windows to be installed. Perfection. Let's continue to see what more he has to say. 60 gig drive. Existing partitions. Okay. Yeah, so right now he's just showing this diagram. Okay, that's probably something else I would want to write from that screen. You can install you can install different device or install additional device because I want to be able to at least, let me also really make this like clear too, because when I end up doing this on my other laptop, or I might do this, I don't know, because like I said, I'm afraid at the fact that I'm realizing you could like really mess up your computer where it doesn't boot no more. So part of me is like, I don't know, man. Obviously though, it's best to, you know, get the experience of doing it, but it's like I don't want to screw my laptop, not this one, but my other one. So now you can install additional device. Oops, I put additional device, additional drivers from this screen. So that's good. That helps me a lot. And it says, of course, we can select the drive and then decide how big of a partition. Oh, I like that too because I didn't know. So then decide how big of a partition. Because I wasn't thinking that you can choose like the bigness. I mean, well, I guess in a way because you get to pick, but okay. So we might need for the Windows installation. So we might need for the Windows installation. Here we go. Perfection. So now we got a quick format versus the full format. So now let's go to the next page. We're almost done with this here, which I can't wait to be done because I want to be able to make a bunch of flashcards and then kind of just continue to guide myself through it. Try to get myself to understand everything that I've written and then pretty much make flashcards for the opposite kind of questions so that I'm actually understanding it in full understandment. I don't think that's how you would say that. But in full understanding. In full understanding. Damn, he has a lot of videos too. And I'm only in the beginning, so part of me was saying like I was gonna get this CompTIA A plus in like by February or March, and now that I'm like really looking at it, I'm about to be 2 months in and I'm probably only on like the second video. And yeah, I'm like, hold on, I'm noticing something. Well, I'm getting a text message. Let me go and see if this is important or not. Oh, yeah, no, it's not. Okay, we'll leave that alone. Sorry, my video kind of went out for a second. Let me see if I have any more comments just in case, because, okay, there we go, we're good. So now we're doing quick format versus full format and see kind of exactly what that is. How long have I been on live for? Versus full format, basically about 40 minutes. That's not bad. We're almost done with this damn video. I've been stuck on this video for like 3-4 days, y'all. There's like so much information. But it is one of the first videos and it's one of the more longer videos. So now we're getting a little bit into this, but let me go and write down first what he ends up putting on these slides, which I guess we're getting into what a quick format is, in particular when it comes to installing this operating system. So this is what creates a new file table, which I had a feeling because I definitely got asked a question on this. That's kind of the scary part too, is like there's a hella questions on that quiz that you like need to know, or I guess be able to get correctly. And it's crazy how easily they can just ask it in a different way for a different answer, and you're just done. You said, do you know if there's any free way to start learning IT? I mean, currently the way I'm learning IT right now is free. I haven't really paid for anything. I'm literally just using this YouTuber online who is teaching the CompTIA A plus for free. His name is Professor Messer if you want to go check him out. The only thing is when you are taking courses on learning IT, on the CompTIA A plus, they expect you to know the basics of computing, and I'm not sure if he made a course on that. I learned the basics of computing through a free roadmap thing that me and ChatGPT created, because you get about like I think a free 15 chats with ChatGPT, so I haven't even paid. I don't pay ChatGPT. And they pretty much helped me with the roadmap to learn the basics, and then I just looked up websites. Like literally right now, like the same way I'm doing it right now, even though I'm not taking the notes on the screen, but that's just because I'm listening to Professor Messer. But most of the time, like if you watch my beginning streams, I would literally just look stuff up, click a random website, and start taking notes. So I think if you need to know the basics, I would say download ChatGPT, ask them for a roadmap of what you should learn for the basics, and then pretty much look things up from there. Oh, damn, I just realized my camera never fixed. This is embarrassing. You have that damn image too. My fault, y'all. My fault. I don't even know why he's acting like that because my camera's on. We can ignore that. That's so funny. It probably's been like that for dumb long, huh? Oops. Oops. Oh, I guess it turned to a black screen really quickly. Put no additional checks. And then now we're going to get into exactly what is being said here about this. So we got, once we've created a partition that we would use to install the operating system, we first need to format that partition. So now this is the next thing that we do after we've created the partition, which is something that's important because I need to be able to know the steps just in case if I was ever asked that on the CompTIA, like what comes first, the partition or the format of it. You know what I mean? So that's probably going to be something. He said, oh, I thought you're learning from CompTIA, which is paid. Oh, no, no, no. I was just saying because with CompTIA A plus, they have it on their website, so I could kind of show you. Like if you plan on getting the CompTIA A plus, because the CompTIA A plus is just the exam. I think it's possible to buy study guides, but I didn't buy it because I don't think I need it. But they show here, this is for Core 1, exactly what's going to be on the exam. So if you specifically want to take this exam, knowing that you're gonna have to pay for the exam, this kind of helps you learn what you need to know. And A plus is also kind of just about what you would need to know on a job as well, just a little bit more deeper. So it gets into like software troubleshooting, security, optional procedures. So you could probably even come here and like not pay for anything, but just kind of see what you need to learn and kind of learn through here. The only thing and the only reason why I keep saying they expect you to know the basics is because if you ask about the hardware setup for a phone, they're going to assume that you kind of know certain things, especially if you just highlighted this and put it into over here. They're going to think you know stuff about phones. So I personally would say look up the basics, pretty much. All right, so next, but the only reason why I'm not showing the YouTube video is just also too because that could get copyrighted. So I'm just showing y'all like what I'm learning, but through what's going on here, because YouTube is just so weird. Because even though it would technically be considered fair use, because I would be pausing his video like I'm doing now. His video is not playing in my ear. I already paused it, so I could take this note. And then I would be talking like I'm doing now. But for some reason, I know YouTube is going to try to copyright it. And it wouldn't even be him. It would just be YouTube because they're so quick to see, like, I'm watching a YouTuber's video. And then that's like it. It's crazy. So once we've created a partition that we would use to install the operating system, then we first need to format. Oh, wait. So once we've created it, we first need to format. Okay, sorry, because when they said first, I'm like, just need to format this particular partition. So we got to format that partition. And right after this, we're going to get into a little bit of what jobs want and from somebody who is trying to get into IT. We're going to look at some entry-level positions. So if you're new here, make sure you stick around. Definitely going to end up getting into it. And thank y'all for watching so far. Y'all are super goated. The goal is to just currently study as much as I can every single day in these live streams. And all the hands-on stuff will end up popping up in a YouTube video. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you end up hitting that sub button. And there are two ways to do this. One way is the quick format. The other way is the full format. Which, like I said, the quick format creates a new file table. Looks like data is erased, but it's not. And it's no additional checks. So then that's something I also want to take note of too, is that it's not performing any physical, because this is why it ends up being quick, because it's not doing any physical checks of the storage, which I'm assuming the full format would probably end up getting into. So not performing any physical checks of these storage drives. And then either, what the hell? It says either so you would want to feel comfortable with that drive. Oh, okay, saying either so you would want to feel comfortable. Okay, sorry, because the way that he wrote it, I mean, the way that it's written did not come out the way that he like said it. So I was like, what? I'm a little bit confused, but he was saying either. So you would want to feel comfortable that drive was safe to store data on. So you would want to feel comfortable that that drive was safe to store data. Perfect. On to the next. This quick format is effectively erasing the file system. So quick. Oh, they didn't. They said it creates a new one, but to say that it erases. Oh, you know what? Too. This was actually on the quiz as well, but I think he taught me a little bit earlier in this little thing that he's teaching. He mentioned earlier that they like to do a clean slate, and at first I didn't know what it was. So I don't know if I like looked it up or if he mentioned it. So I knew what a clean slate was, but now he's mentioning that for the quick format, it effectively erases, and then that's probably why it's saying new. So it effectively erases. Because when you think new, you're not really thinking. Well, I mean, I guess in a way you would probably assume it, but you're not really thinking it's erased. You're just thinking you're making a new one. So table here, as if no data was ever installed. So I like that. So as if no data was ever installed on that drive. From a security perspective, so here we go, we're getting into that security perspective. This perspective means that it's possible to, I guess, recover that data with the right software. So it's possible to, that's crazy, I had no idea. Recover that data with the right software. So the old data that basically gets erased can possibly be recovered. So if you want a secure installation, a quick format may not be the best choice. So okay, so if you don't want your data to be recovered, then doing the quick format is definitely not the way. Unless you just don't care. But it wouldn't be as secure if you're basically trying to actually get rid of stuff, which would be crazy. Which would literally be insane. So secure installation. A quick format may not be the best choice. And then we can get a little bit deeper into it. But since I got today off, I'll probably finish the rest of this. Hopefully I finish the rest of this. We could finally end up getting into a little bit of this job search, which I cannot wait. So what I'm going to do is hop back here, and then we're going to go look up some careers on IT support. Specifically ones that I hope could fit and with what I want to do. I wish I could click on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn got this weird little thing going on where I legitimately can't, like, I don't even know. They're like, no, like, why is LinkedIn keep trying to get me to sign in? This is like never was a thing before. It probably was because of me. So let me look up. So we're already in remote jobs, but let me update this to part-time positions. I want to see how much. About 100 plus jobs. That's crazy. So let's go and jump over here. Y'all can end up seeing exactly what I'm looking at. Give me 1 second too, because I want to be able to kind of be able to read chat if anyone does message. By the way, if y'all are new here, man, definitely hit that subscribe button. And if you've been here, make sure you end up hitting that like button. I know you probably forgot. But make sure you hit that like button, because that like button can definitely go push these streams or this stream out to other people. Oh my goodness. And then last but not least, so I think I might want to actually see it on this phone instead. Perfection. So let's continue to go through this. Here we go. We got entry-level product tech support. So this is based in California, but I think it is a remote position for $20 to $24 an hour, and it is full-time. I don't know why they're asking if I know Spanish. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, it's like, ma'am, are you sure? So $20 to $24 an hour. It says state the job you are applying for in the right upper hand. Oh, I guess they're trying to put the resume here. Please limit your resume to 1 page only and include the address and stuff like that. So test and repair of products, support worldwide network of distributors and dealers with technical installation issues, communicate with suppliers regarding product issues, product research and development, product research and development, assist with the creation of product literature. Oh wait, is this the same thing? Wait, I mean, I guess it is because it's entry level product tech support, but they're kind of like talking about other things. I feel like I'm on there about to create certain stuff. This is inbound technical support openings immediately. 15 an hour, part time, full time. It's not bad. Would obviously need a part time, by the way. So let's see a couple of duties. So handle inbound and outbound calls in a courteous, timely, and professional manner. Ensure first call resolution through problem solving and effective call handling. Research systems to find missing information as applicable. Coordinate with other departments to resolve issues when needed. Accurately document and process customer claims in appropriate systems. Utilize knowledge base and training to accurately answer questions while following all required script policies and procedures. Comply with requirements surrounding confidential information and personal information. Escalate customer issues to the appropriate staff and manager role, I think is how you'd say that, for resolution as needed. Attend meetings, yikes, I would run, I'm just kidding. Attend meetings, training, and review all new training material to stay up to date on the changes with the program and knowledge. I like that. That actually sounds nice. I love when a job sits there and offers that basic knowledge of Microsoft Office with Excel, PowerPoint, and Word Outlook. Basic understanding of Windows operating system, the ability to evaluate and troubleshoot. So they have a good amount of stuff here. This is contact center. That contact center's been hiring for days. Oh, I realize it's from the same company. They really want some workers. Okay, here's another company. I was trying to find something different. All right, let's see what they asked for. So it says that they offer part-time, but they only have the full-time schedule here Monday through Friday, unless maybe they do want you to work every single day of the week, but just not as much. So let's continue going. Kinda hard than you. I was singing a song, but I don't have that voice. All right. So work as a help desk team, track and log tickets in accordance with the IT department. I like that. Maintain small peer-to-peer computer network. Install and configure IT resources, including computers and printers. Oh my gosh. Ensure that all PC hardware is working in good condition. Ensure that all PC. Hey, what is up? I think I wake Nashi. What is up? What is up, my guy? He said, how is it going? It's going great, man. I'm still a little bit sick though. So I feel really sick. My voice isn't really up to par. That's kind of why my energy is a little bit down. Normally I'm just talking, I'm kind of moving. But I'm sick as hell. He said I'll be doing my monk mode in January. I might join you. Hey, that's what's up, man. That is what's up. Definitely let me know because I would love to. If you're talking about making content, I would love to watch your content, bro. I would love to watch it. Unless you mean you're gonna be learning IT support. That's pretty dope. Provide first responses to employees relative to software and hardware issues. Optimize desktop computers as instructed by system administrators. By the way, if you guys are new here, make sure you end up hitting that subscribe button. Every single day I come on here daily to document my learning process of learning IT support. And I've done this previously for about 7 months, learning web development, and I've learned it and I got to where I wanted to get to, which is just make it a mini side hustle. Now we're learning IT support to hopefully do a career change. So definitely follow this journey to see if I could do it and or if I don't do it. But I will be documenting daily and I'll let y'all know if I do need to miss a day. But so far we've been going 49 days strong. So definitely hit that subscribe button if you want to see someone potentially become an IT support / network support network engineer. My fault. So we got an IT program assistant. That one's a little bit different. Let's not look specifically at part-time anymore. Let's kind of just update it to regular. Just show me any job. So this one's hybrid work in Florida for 24 to 28 an hour. That's nothing. That's not too bad. That's not bad at all, actually. So provide first level technical support via the phone, diagnose and resolve hardware, software, network issues with accuracy and professionalism. Troubleshoot automation and control systems to identify routes. This is something I really want to do, is really focus on automation, because I know AI, especially with AI going to be happening, I feel like I really want to get into a lot of AI automations, because I think that's definitely just going to be a good position to get into. You said I actually give it to you like you did, and he said I need to start with what is a computer, what is hardware versus software. Did ChatGPT tell you to do the same? Actually, pretty much, yeah. ChatGPT did. I think my ChatGPT mentioned, because I think I already told them I wanted to start with hardware. So I did start with what a computer was, and then that's when we got into like the binary side of things, a little bit of history. And then, but I specifically said, can I get the basics for hardware? So then they kind of took me down a different route. So I didn't do hardware versus software. I know understanding that concept though is obviously good. Hardware is physical, software is virtual. Is really kind of, I think, the main thing they want you to understand when it comes to hardware versus software. But you can kind of pick which one you want to start with. I know Core 1 starts with hardware, for the CompTIA A plus at least. And I started with hardware. I probably did hardware for about a month. And I don't think I learned everything about hardware. I kind of wish I started with software though. But I'm still learning, so I can't really say which one to go for. But yeah, pretty much they gave me the same thing. Pretty much. That's pretty good. They definitely know what they're talking about. If I'm even doing it right, shoot. Let's keep this going. We have 5 to 7 years. Okay, this isn't, but yeah, I thought we were looking at entry level. I think we already read that one. So this one, can this dude stop hiring? MCI careers. I'm kidding. Don't stop hiring. But man, it just keeps getting in the way. Keep hiring. I might want that. So support root. Wait, what is this? Oh, these are the required skills. So they want you to have a bachelor's degree. Remember though, even though it says required, this is all a preference to them. So don't ever be afraid to not send your resume in. What's the worst that could happen? And address customer requests for installation, configuration, test, maintenance of hardware and software. Support root cause analysis. I like that. IT equipment installation. Deployment configuration. I can't wait to do hands-on stuff like this, man. I love the hardware of a computer. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to even buy a desktop and break it apart, put it back together. Like, I'm waiting. I'm probably gonna be stressed as hell, but I think the fun part is when it like really hurts you, like you really are struggling, and then when you finally get it and you get that breakthrough and you're like, yes. I think that's honestly the best thing. Damn, these are all the requirements? Hold on, this isn't even like what you want me to do for the job. This is what you want me to just have. Or actually, never mind. That probably is what they want me to do. They just named it weird. Did I already read that too? Like, are the same companies just continue? Let me just click 5. We need to get to different companies here. This is full time. So conduct. Oh, this is network monitor. I like that. I think I read this the other day too. I'm not sure. This is why I personally don't like Indeed. I like LinkedIn. I'm probably gonna have to make a fake LinkedIn with like a random little, account, a random Gmail, and just kind of go from there, because I don't know what's going on. This one's crazy. This one's a system admin IT support role. It's obviously going to be paying about 100K a year to almost 250. And I think about 120K a year is $6,000 a month after taxes, of course. So that wouldn't be gross pay, I don't think. Would it be gross pay? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Like 120 a year would be pay, like that's, you would get 6,000 monthly in your pocket. I think gross pay would probably be like 10. But prepare a classroom prior to day 1 of each course by rotating all laptop computers from a charging cart to the classroom's environment. Maintain all classroom laptops as needed to ensure laptops remain active and take system updates. I like that. Lead each class. So what? I'm a student? Oh, they're teaching. That's nice. Obviously, this role wouldn't be for me, as you can see. 8+ years of experience. I know these are all preferred, but I legitimately wouldn't do it. Is this even any IT support anymore? Like social media user chat support? I mean, I guess. But what social media site? The Teleperformance? People use that? 500,000 inspired, passionate people speaking more than 3. I don't know what the Teleperformance is. Okay. Okay. Wait, what if because they're saying that it's people who speak 300 languages? So how do I respond? You know what I mean? Like, what if they try to speak in that language and then I'm kind of screwed, you know? Handle carefully, respond. Yeah, no, that's not even, oh yeah, that's not even tech support. That's chat support. I just realized that. IT on-site technician. I don't live in Nevada. So, buddy program. What the hell is the buddy program? What are y'all offering? I mean, what are y'all asking? Barely anything. This is why I don't like Indeed. LinkedIn has why if you were on the other one, why are you now here? Stay on slide 5. This one's a help desk technician in Colorado. I think that's Colorado. CO. Colorado. 3+ years. 2,000 hours. Oh, never mind. Apologies. This is for my days at my job because sometimes I work night shift. I think that is 12. Wait, no, 21 is 9. I think that's 10 to 6. 11, right? 10 to 6, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I did that. I ate. So, damn, 10 to 9 though, p.m. I mean, listen, I like me a night shift. Mids? What does mid mean? Tell me if this is morning. No, yeah, I can't. I'm gonna have to log into LinkedIn. In all honesty, this just isn't the wave. This isn't the wave. But no, yeah, here I'm back. I'm very sick by the way as well. Still sick. This is crazy. But no, yeah, I was getting into like a little bit of a debate last stream about the me getting my CompTIA A plus, which is why I feel like I probably wouldn't like tell people like you need to go for it. That's why like even for myself, I don't think I need to go for it. I'm just doing it because I want to, and I just want to have like put it on the wall, frame it right, do all that type of stuff. It's not a waste of money for me because I just want to get it. At the end of the day, if I'm making the choice to get it, you know. So I can't wait to end up getting this CompTIA A plus. I wish I could help a little bit more on what you should learn, but I mean I think pretty much ChatGPT should be able to help you there. And then maybe we could kind of figure it out a little bit later because I had to figure it out the more that I went and the more that I just kept going and looking certain things up. So I'm happy I was able to get to where I was currently learning. But thank y'all so much for tuning into this journey. If you're new here, make sure you end up hitting that subscribe button because I currently am going to continue to document this journey and also be prepared for tonight's video at 8 p.m. because I do have a video coming out and that's going to be pretty nice. I also have 2 videos that have already came out this past week, one of them being why I believe IT support is one of the most underrated jobs, which I still stand on because it really is really underrated. I think doing IT support and staying in help desk, obviously, that's not really where you want to be. There's not too much growth, not too much potential. But when you specialize in something there, like that's where the cheese comes, you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like specializing in networking engineering or cloud engineering or AI engineering or system admin or shoot, even IT infrastructure, but I think that might be the lowest cap. But it's still at least you're in something that's a little bit more, you know, you have to specialize into it. You have to put in the work. You have to, you know, get that experience. They might want you to have a specific cert depending on your company. And I think that's probably one of the best things someone could do. And I think it's just so underrated. I'm shocked not a lot more people sit there and pursue a career in IT, or even so, a lot of people actually talk a lot of like crap about IT. And I'm like, because that almost turned me away. Like, I feel like I would have started IT 3 years ago if I didn't hear how bad people used to talk about it, which I'm kind of upset because I'm like, damn, I should have just started already. But there's just a lot of people who would talk bad about IT and be like, oh, you're not going to get nowhere in IT. IT doesn't, like, it's just regular pay, yada, yada. I'm like, but those were probably the people who stayed in help desk thinking they naturally rose up. You know what I mean? Like, you have to put in the work and apply to different positions. You're not just going to naturally become a network engineer. You need to put in the work to become a network engineer. And I think that's always kind of where people kind of screwed themselves. It's like, you just got to put in the work, man. And that's why I like IT too, because it forces you to always have to learn, forces you to always have to just learn and improve and reach to get up to the higher, and that's, I guess, of the career. That's why I really want to document this journey too, is to hopefully give people some hope. And this is something too that is not just like a YouTube journey. This is something that I'm doing, like I said, for my real life. So even though I know for YouTube, I already talked about how I wanted my channel to be about having different types of chapters. So like if I ever got into boxing, that's something I would put on here, right? The channel's called Marzi's Journey. So even if I ended the series with me, because this is kind of the way I kind of see me ending the series, but obviously like maybe a year down the line, maybe 2 years, who knows? But what I was thinking was I'm probably going to end it with me trying to apply for network engineering roles, getting an interview, and then waiting back. And then I was going to end it with if I landed the job and then if I didn't land the network engineering job, right? But either way, in the background, I would still be pursuing networking engineering because the goal of this channel, of course, is to document everything that I'm doing, not just this. But I do keep it about this topic because I know with YouTube, it could be tricky if I have, a, let's say, IT video over here, but then I'm making a video of me boxing over here. It's not going to work. That's why I'm doing YouTube for as long as I've done it. I'm obviously not a big YouTuber, but I've started to pick up on some things. And that's something you really don't want to do for your channel, is kind of mix in a lot of stuff. And since that's kind of what I plan to do, I have to separate it. So like with web dev, I did it for 7 months, and I still am surprised that I have like pretty much kind of the same audience that I had back at web dev to IT support. Obviously, it's still in the tech realm, and I think my views were definitely a lot more higher with web dev, but it didn't drop that much lower. So I was just like, hey, it's not bad. It's not bad. IT support is it's definitely a realm, and it definitely has a place for itself. And I'm just like, I think I'm just super ecstatic and stoked to be getting into this and bringing this to this channel. And just showing y'all everything that I'm doing. All the mistakes that I make and all the things that I feel like you don't have to learn. Like I said, I learned a lot of like the history of computers. I think it was fun because I like history, but it's obviously not something that's gonna pop up on my CompTIA. It's not gonna be like Ada Lovelace. What does she do? It's like, that's not, why does that doesn't matter in the sense of they're not going to ask that on any certification, and I'm not going to be inside of an interview room and they ask that unless they're like, who do you look up to in tech or something like that. Maybe you want to name a technician, but other than that, it's like it would never really be that. But yeah, it gets crazy though. I think it's just so underrated, man, and people are gonna be shocked too, because like a lot of people like to mention, the tech layoffs and AI. But the thing is at the end of the day, AI needs to be on a network. So there's gonna have to be AI network engineers, I think is what you would call it. So I'm like, in the end, it's just gonna open up a lot more positions specifically for people who are trying to specialize in IT. Obviously, kind of sticking around for help desk and IT support tickets. There's probably still going to be positions for those. It's just not going to be as much pay because it's like there's just going to be so much other positions that are going to form with AI coming in, and I'm like, people are just going to miss out because they're not even trying to get into it. I think right now is the best time. And one of my prime examples is the Waymo cars that are in California. They're the self-driving cars. Those cars are ran on a network. There's even other things too that still relate to IT support, like system admins. But because I'm more focused on the networking side, I remember that one more. Those cars are ran on a network, and it's also ran on AI automation. So that's why a lot of people say if you want to work on that network, you might want to learn AI networking, or I forgot how they said it. I think it's AI automation plus network cloud networking, something like that. I forgot. Something like that, but it's like merged together. But that's pretty much how these cars, because all these cars have to be on a network. So if one of the networks is down for the car, you as that AI automation network technician, whatever the hell the name is, would be the one fixing that. And so when that starts to get around the world, it's in the end, there's always going to be a position for those specific networkers, and it's going to be considered a high level skill as well, because not everybody is going to know how to run or move with AI, because so many people are afraid to even learn it or touch it or even think about it. So since that's going to be more of a high level skill, that means it's going to be a high paying job as well. So, or might be, because if a lot of people get into it, they might drop that pay and be like, hey, there's about 4,000 people here willing to get paid $23 an hour to do this. That would be crazy. No, but it shouldn't be 23. It should definitely be, I'm thinking definitely like 40 and up. But there's even a lot of positions now that cap out at $50 an hour. One of the main ones I've been looking at is networking engineering, but two system admins as well. And I know they have some security positions before cybersecurity, but they do end up capping out at $50 an hour or even $60 an hour. And of course, cap means the more you stay in that field and or the more you jump to a different position, you can kind of get more pay. Because a lot of people are afraid to kind of leave their company. But if your company isn't trying to give you a raise or put you in a position you want to be in, sometimes it's best to leave, because then that other job could pay you more. Um, but some people don't like to do that. They like to be loyal. But when you're willing to just like go to the next place, things start to click. And eventually you can kind of get to that point, maybe even 40 an hour before you're even close to being, you know, um, in your 60s. You could probably get there in your 30s to 40, depending on when you start, because I'm 22. So for me, I'm kind of considering like it could be possible to hit about 30, 35 to 40 in my 30s, like around then. And I'm like, that's not too bad. I could live off of that. Well, I mean, I'm already living off of what I get paid now, but I would live a lot more. Well, I feel like I already live comfortable. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like it just would be better, I guess, would be the saying. But I feel like with social media, a lot of people tend to want to be a millionaire, or it's like they want to make like $1,000 a day or something. I'm like, listen, I know it sounds good, and like obviously, if it happened for all of us and we all had that choice, we probably would be like, okay, let's take it. But I feel like in the end, too, there's nothing wrong with pursuing a career, probably making 4, 5. Because like I feel like if I was making 4 to 5 a month, I would be lit like that. That's just what it would be. But there's some people who hear that and they're like, oh hell no. Like I've heard these people on YouTube everywhere that would be like, you need to make 20 to 30K a month just to live comfortably. I'm like, who are you? And then these people don't even have kids. Like I'm like, maybe the ones with kids that say that I could understand, because I know some kids like it'd be difficult. I don't think it's that difficult to where you need 30 to 40K a month, but I understand that you want to buy them the world. And a lot of kids stuff is expensive. But I was listening to this dude who lived with his parents, and he said the same thing. I was like, oh, I'm like, you first of all, you live with your parents, you don't have kids, you don't even have a partner, and you think you need to make 30K a month to live comfortable? I was like, what the hell is comfortable for him? I'm like, he clearly wants to rent a yacht. Like what? I don't know what he's trying to do with 30K a month. I think, like I said, making 4K a month. I like, but I understand the cost of living too is high. So I feel, but that's why I keep saying like 4 a month. I think I could be really comfortable to where it's like, I think when you make that much, you could probably have your own apartment have everything of your own without really needing another person's income. How is like that sounds great. You know what I mean? I think that people would like be crazy for that, but for some reason people want to just have so much extra money. I'm like, I don't know. If you don't have to sit there and you're able to just offer your own money, rely on your own income, and then you have somebody else who has it like that too. I'm like that's just goaded, but I don't know. Some people don't they want to be rich, man. I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a reason for why I would need that much. But I think side hustles is pretty cool though. That's why with IT support, I think it's also one of the smartest things to get into. Sorry, I know I'm rambling. I was supposed to end the stream, but I just wanted to ramble. But with IT support is one of the best things to get into because of its side hustles and how even potentially like if the side hustles make enough money, you can possibly make that into your like entrepreneurship type of career. And I think that is also pretty lit to do. So I'm like, people who are crapping on IT and the ability to make and repair computers with your hands and to offer IT support work and network work is like, that's insane. That is insane because it's just one of the best. Like, I'm sorry, it's so underrated. It is so underrated. But I will be catching y'all in the next one. I hope y'all ended up enjoying this live stream. If y'all have any questions, though, you can ask because I don't mind to stay on and kind of answer a couple more questions. But if that's it, we could pretty much just end this here. All I want to say is I don't really remember. I don't really remember what I was about to say. Give me 1 second though. I'm trying to see something. Oh, I forgot. I always forget to like tag my products because I made a couple of products like these beanies and these cups, these mugs and stuff like that. But I don't really expect it to go and sell. Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. I love mentioning this in my streams. Is always remember to, if you are young, focus on opportunity building. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to be making money for it to be considered an opportunity. What an opportunity building is basically allowing yourself to have something that is monetizable, but it's not necessarily monetizing, as in you're not getting paid for it yet. I think that's one of the best things you can do, especially being super young. Is like right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm focusing with editing and recording, filming, stuff like that. Those are things that I feel like are considered an opportunity, but it's not something I'm getting paid for, but it could be in the future if, I ever ran into an editing position I could apply because I have years of experience of editing. Not saying that I'm like the best editor, but I could literally use my content as a reason or as experience, right? So I always think if you're younger, experience building, and well, even actually when you're older too, my fault. But opportunity building is one of the best things you could do. That's why I always say if you're someone who's making websites, learn how you can put AdSense on your websites because now, not that you're gonna sit there and get paid millions as soon as you do it, but it offers that opportunity to get paid something for your websites and the visits that you get. Same thing with YouTube. I got YouTube monetized. I don't really make like bands, but there's that opportunity. The opportunity is there. Same thing if you're an artist, right? You're just go and draw, build that opportunity. And I think that's just going to be one of the best things we could do for ourselves, especially being super young. But also make sure that you do work a job if you aren't blessed with the opportunity to stay with your parents. I think staying with your parents is one of the best opportunities that you could be blessed with. I obviously was not blessed with that. But I've been blessed in other ways, and I think having the responsibility of things being on my shoulders, I think it's probably one of the best things for me. But other people's lives are different. But if you have that opportunity to stay with your parents and study and learn and do your thing, do that. I think always having your own money though is definitely super goated. So I personally would say working is fine, but if you don't want to, it's not like you would have to because you have that that thing to fall back on. But at least be learning something to where if you can't fall back on them, you can get the hell about that house and do your thing. But all right, sorry, I've been yapping. I apologize. I just love to yap. You already know me. But alright, I'll be catching you on the next one. Hope you guys ended up enjoying this live stream. Love y'all and deuces.